Module 15, Part 2, Transaction. So it's been almost 2 months. October 5th was my first YouTube video I created, and we have come a long way. I have produced more than 40 videos, tutorial videos, and you are welcome to look through these videos. I am sure many of these are helpful to your programming. And thank you for watching. Not just today. This past weekend, I added this button, and I just want you to be aware of this button. It's called donation. So if you would like to donate $1 or $2, just click on that link, and it should bring you to the to there, a PayPal. So you can donate. Maybe I'll have enough money to buy a new computer to do more videos. All right. Well, let's get back to our programming, which is coding. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check out our other how-to videos from this channel. Also, subscribe and share. It will be helpful for the channel. This is a continuation from Module 15 Transaction CRUD operations. In this tutorial, we will be adding a transaction form and hooking controls to object properties. We will make sure the CRUD action methods and functions we coded yesterday work as intended. Let's open up our Access and get going. Alright, let's go to our folder rather. Go to Access Projects. We are going to continue from Module 15. Let's copy that folder. Select Control C, Control V, and then we're going to rename that guy to 15 Part 2 Transaction. And then yeah, let's go in there, open it up, enable. We are going to let's take a look at this company. Not a good one. Not that one. How about customer? Look at the customer. This one looks pretty good. We can imagine that left hand side would be our transaction search or customer search for transaction, and here we could use this guy for our entries. All right, so yeah, let's see how we can do that. Let's close that out. Let's make a copy of this guy, Control C, Control V, and rename that guy to transaction. All right, let's open it up right there. We'll go ahead and remove this subform, and then I'm going to collapse this guy right here. we need to massage these fields, these text. Let's see. First thing comes to mind, we're gonna make that guy a text for transaction number. Alright, so go ahead and change that label to text box, and then the border style right here to transparent, and then the name will be txt transaction number. We want to display our number. Alright, this guy, customer name, that's fine right there. And this guy, let's see, now let's go to this guy right here. That's good, that's good, that's good. Right here, customer number. Right there, customer number. Let me see, this one is, that is customer name. That's customer name. Oops. We're gonna customer name, customer ID with, that's good. Right here, I'm gonna delete that guy. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna copy that first and delete it. Copy the customer number and delete it. We're gonna put it right here. That will be all customer number right here. So we are going to display that customer number. So go ahead, change that to customer number. Let's see. This is good. This is good. We're going to change that to type. And on this one, change that CBO to transaction type. And then you scroll down. We're going to work one control at a time. Right there, we're going to zoom in. What we want here is debit and credit. Alright. What else do we need? What else do we? How about date? So we got transaction number, customer number. How about order number? Yeah, this would be order number, and it could be null. It could be empty. So let's change that to order number. The next one. How about order date? So let's change the control name to order. Oh, not order date, my bad. Transaction date. Transaction date. Looks like that guy's gonna be just a tad little, so I'm gonna pop out here and pull this guy out a little bit. Like so. I think that's enough. Section, there you go. Perfect right there. And then you're gonna select the whole thing and ship it back. So let's go ahead and change. Yeah, that's good. And then this would be amount. Amount. How about voided? Yeah, that's good. We need to make it void. Now, two things that you could do here. You can have a void here, or you could click this guy as a void. So yeah, let's do it here first, and then if we don't like it, we can add another button up here to say void or unvoid. All right. So, but right now, let's change this guy. Let's make it simple for us first, and if we don't like it, we can just always change it. All right. So this guy, change that to CBO voided. So if we don't like it, we can just change it. All right. So, but right now, let's make it simple for us. Now scroll down to the list right here. We're going to type no, yes, and then hit enter. We're going to go value list. All right. Make sure it's value list. Control S, and here will be the amount, and change that to txt amount. And the amount, we can also change this guy to currency. All right. I'm going to get rid of these two guys and make this guy memo, and then expand this guy out right about there. We don't need a whole lot. Now, in order to allow the enter key to be to enable the enter key, you come to other right here, and it says enter key behavior right here, set new line. All right. Control S. That's that. So we should have 8 items. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 9 items. 5, 6, 7, 8. Where's the 9? What are we missing? What are we missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're missing 1. Somehow I thought we had 9. We had 8. All right, let's go to the code. Go to form design right here, tab. Go into the code. All right, we're gonna start from the bottom up. So we're gonna change this screen name as transaction entry, and then I don't think we have the label. We have transaction number. As a matter of fact, there is a customer name, so I'm going to take that out. I think there's a customer name right here. Yep. So that's good. We're gonna change this to transaction equals no. This would be transaction number. That's good. That's good. All right, let's move up. So we don't have this transaction number. Oh, look at that, we misspelled here. So clear text. We don't have that. Let's take that out. We have that guy. We have that guy. We don't have that guy. We replace that guy. So we're going to put in transaction number. This guy would be CODB. We are going to default this to the first one. So this is how you default it to the first one. Item, put 0 in there. And this one is a date, transaction date. So this will make this one today's date. Also, CBO voided. We're also going to default that to the first one. CBO voided item. That's the first item. And then we have amount. And then memo. Yep. Did we not change that guy? Did we not change that guy? Let's go back in there. This guy, yeah. Let's change txt memo. Control S, go back in code. That should be memo there. And then the rest is history. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 up here. 8 somewhere. Customer number. We're missing one. We have transaction order number. Order number. Yeah, order number. Me, txt order number. Alright, good. We got all 8. Moving on. Here we need to be a little clever. Yeah. As a matter of fact, let's go all the way up to the top. We need to make this guy a transaction form. Transaction. Alright, and I'm going to copy that guy. Let's move back to the unlock. Right there. We just did the clear. Now we do the unlock. There's something funny here. Alright. No, not yet. Don't want to get you into. When we get there, you will know, and I will show you. But right now, if it's new, we want to set this guy to new. Alright. And if it's new, so we're going to delete these two guys and make that transaction number. If it's new, we want this transaction number. Like so. That's the only predefined variable right there. Alright. That's only the predefined variable. That's why we need that. And the rest is we're gonna log this customer. We also log these two guys, customer ID, customer number. And I'll show you how to get this guy. We don't have customer name, so we'll take that out. We have CBO transaction type. TXT order number. CBO voided. TXT amount. TXT memo. You have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Oh no, we're missing one. Let's take this out. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, customer ID doesn't count. What are we missing? Who forgot transaction date? All right, there equals, oops, log false. All right, so now we're just filling the gap up there. We also need to lock this guy as well. Txt transaction number lock true. So we'll go ahead and add the me transaction number back color. Oh, we don't want to change the back color on this guy. That's transparent. We don't have this guy. CBO order. CBO voided. TXT amount. Actually, TXT transaction date. I try to keep things in order. That way it's easy to remember what's missing. I think that's good. And then the set focus would be what would be the set focus? Transaction type, CBO. All right. Yep. As a matter of fact, we can go ahead and spell this guy out like so. All right. All right. Let's moving on. Move on. Now I get lazy sometimes. This is unlock, and we are going to lock. Copy. Move right here. Paste the whole thing up here, and change all these to true. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to select this guy. Control F. Replace false to true. Replace all. And similarly, I'm going to do this guy. I'm going to change the light peach to white. Good. Control S. And now. There are yeah. There are a couple of things that we need to fix here. Voided being true or false, 0 or 1. Transaction type is 1 and 2. So if we look at this transaction type that we added right here, 1 and 2. But right here we could say function get transaction name by ID, and then we put an integer in there. Let's call it type ID as int, return as string, like so. Alright, and then we can say if I type ID equals 1, then get transaction name by ID equals debit. And then I'm just going to copy the entire thing. Copy. And then if it's to, then this credit, like so. And then I'm gonna copy this guy and reverse it. So now we're gonna say get transaction ID by name, and then change this S to type name as string, and then integer. I'm gonna paste that guy, and I'm going to copy that guy like so. Debit, credit, this being 1, this being 2. That's all we need to do for that transaction type. See there? Let's close that out. Here. Oh, we will add the this guy. That was locked. So we need to validate the transaction type, order number, voided. Voided, all you have to do is that's a simple one because it's just 0 and 1. Transaction date, amount, and memo, those 3 guys. Alright, so let's get to it. So let's attack the first one, transaction type. Now the transaction number and customer number, we don't need to worry about those. Those are going to be preset, alright, and we cannot change. We have to have those guys. But the order number, we don't have to have order number, alright. So let's do that. Now the order number is a little different too. We want to validate if the order exists for this customer. So let's do that. Let's go to the order DB access right here. So what we want to do here, we want to make sure that that order exists for that customer. All right. So I'm just going to grab one of these functions right here, the little bitty one. I'm going to copy that, put on the very top. So that's how I work. If it's trying to copy the smallest one that I can massage. Customer order exists. There. And then we need S order number as string, and I'm going to go ahead and put the vowel here. Vowel. That means that number cannot be altered. That's all. Vowel. If you don't put anything, it's by reference. Customer number as string, and then the return is true or false. That's all. Oops, true or false. That's all. All right. So here, all we need to do here is select from query order list where order number equals. All right, I'll go ahead and put the single quote there. Equals S order number single quote and customer number equals single quote S customer number, like so. That's it. That's it. Now I'm going to copy this guy. and then true. That's it. Simple enough. So that's what we need when we verify if the order exists for this customer. All right. So let's close that out. Well, let me get back in there. Let me uh, give you some background on that one. Order DB access. This guy right here. This order query order list here should have, make sure it has the order number and the customer number. All right. That's the only way to validate. So if we come back in here and look at the query, we'll close that guy out. Order number, order list here, we should have those two guys. So we have customer number. We also have order number. So that's what's required to check. All right. So let's get back. So that's what we did here. We say, hey, go to that query and see if you have found this number and order number and this custom for this customer. All right, that's all we did here. So here though, the first thing that we check is transaction type. Let's check the transaction. If it's no CBO transaction type, then you say transaction type. All right, and then the next thing that we validate is the order. Yep, order number. So now instead of it's no, we don't do that. We'll say if not it's no. All right, order number. Then we do this. Then we'll say if order DB access order, how about customer order exists. Now we need two things. We need txt order number. You see that? That's why we want to make sure that it's not no. All right, and then we need transaction customer number. All right, then actually actually this is not exist. This should be not. All right, so if the order doesn't exist for this customer, that means that number is invalid. All right, so then we'll say order number invalid. That's it. All right, that's good. That's good. So now, what's the next one? Oh, voided. CBO voided. So if it's no, in case if it's no, then when we need to default this to no. So two things, you can send a message out or you can just default it. All right, and to be consistent, you want to send a message out so that the user is doing it explicitly. All right, so so instead of just typing void, it doesn't make sense. So what we need to write here is transaction voided, like so. All right, and then the amount txt. This is straightforward. Oops, just say amount. And last, we need user to enter something in there, add a memo, and then the rest nothing. That's that. So we are basically checking, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're checking 5 items. The 3 items we predefine those guys. Those guys cannot be altered. So we're checking the transaction type, the order, oh yeah, order date. Uh, uh, yeah, oops, order date. So this would be txt order date. No, transaction date. I say order date, didn't I? Transaction date. Transaction date. Um, yeah, that's good. So that's what we're validating. Transaction date. Is it voided? Amount and memo. That's what we want to validate. All right. So let's continue. And here's a set customer. It's not really a set customer. It's a set transaction. Now set transaction calls for, I'm going to come up here, copy, let's go back to a set, say set equals new transaction. That's a set. And then I'm going to transaction number equals me transaction number, and then it's customer number, me txt customer number, order equals. Now on this one, we're going to do this in case it's null, because you cannot set null value. All right. Transaction type. Here again, it's the display is in string. We want to get it converted to a number, so we'll say transaction type. You see that? We want it ID by name, so here we say CBO transaction type. All right. So that's how we set. And then transaction date voided equals. Now here's again, this is simple item. We don't actually have any function to do that, but we have this function. If IIF would say, oops, if voided equals no, then it's 0, else it's 1. That's simple enough. Ooh. Oh, we got one parenthesis too many. All right. And then we have amount, and then memo, last memo. All right, we should have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. So that's what you keep. You want to validate, make sure all the variable, all the columns is set, or all your properties is set correctly. Now on the saved, right here, it's not customer no longer, is a transaction. And here we say transaction db access, and then we're gonna remove this guy and dot, replace that and put that guy in there. And if it's safe, we don't do anything here. But there's something in here we need to change. Let's go back and see, take a look. You see this guy right here, record safe? We do like this. Record saved equals, go to the end here, take that then out, and then remove the rest. Alright. One thing that we need to do once we save here, we want to let's comment this out. Need to refresh subform. So that is to remind us that we need to refresh the subform because we're gonna update or delete or add to the list. Alright. So if we don't refresh, it will not be relist in the subform. Alright. We are not going to have delete because the transaction, you don't delete transaction. You either cancel the transaction, which is voided. Alright. Just like when you void your check, right? Like checkbook, same thing. Checkbook is a transaction. So that's that for now. We're gonna go ahead and comment out this guy. Let's moving on. Moving on. So here, display customer. Display customer is good because we are going to, I'm going to show you how to get this guy. The idea is that when you click this guy, before you set new transaction, we are going to make sure that the customer is selected first. Alright, so we're going to leave this guy. However, we're going to need to have a display transaction. So copy that, and above it, we're just going to do like so, and then say transaction here. Right there. Alright, display transaction. And now on this one, it's very limited here. I'm gonna go ahead and take this guy out, and then take these two guys out on the bottom here. We don't really care about the locking and not locking. Yeah, so we don't want to clear anything. What we need here is very simple here. We are interested in the ID number and customer number and customer ID number. So so this is all we need to do. Let me see what's up here. Oops. That should be customer name. Yep. So customer name right here. So we're going to delete this guy. We're going to keep the 3 like so. That's all we need. Alright, and we don't need these controls to be set because it's not a customer screen or form. Alright, this is a transaction. All we need is we are interested in this guy. In order to get this guy, we need to have this guy. That's the reason why. And this is just for display only. Alright, so that's how that works. So one thing that we need to, that I'm thinking out loud here, because this transaction only refers to this guy, we don't have a function to get the name, company name, from this using this number. So let's go here. Let me see, should I expose it here or should I wait later? Let me wait later. That way you understand. All right, let's wait later. That way you understand I'm a couple steps ahead of myself. All right, so but yeah, let's wait later and I'll show you why. So this one will be transaction number, and then we're going to change this guy to transaction db access, and then remove all that guy. Dot exists by ID, and here is going to be old transaction, and then this guy transaction number. All right. Now we need to replace a bunch of these guys. Remember, we don't have this guy. We don't have that label, but this customer name here. Remember, I said I was going to show you. I think this is a good time to show you. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it now. I said I was going to show you later, so I guess this is a good time. So we're gonna go down here where it says right here. We're just going to copy that guy. We essentially doing the same thing. All right. Now we change that by number instead of by ID. You see, and change this guy to number. That's it. That's real simple. All right. Let's control. Let's copy that, and paste there, and paste there. That's it. Control S. And now we move backwards right here. So here we can make yeah. Let's do this. We're gonna massage this guy, make it a little clever. We could do it in here, but it would be redundant. We want to make sure we want to use our function correctly here. Let's say be using customer number. Let's make this guy an optional, and let's make this guy false. No, I mean as booleans, my bad. Equals false. We're going to default this to get to using this guy. All right. So let's change this. Yeah. So that's what we do. If be using customer number, then else. And if. So there. So we're using one function to do two things for us. That way this function is useful. So if it's using customer number, then we do this. You see there? And then we're going to change this guy to customer access by number. All right. And here we change that to customer number. You see there? So if we were to call this from the search screen, we don't have to pass in this guy because it's an optional. Alright, so then we don't have to worry about the customer search screen. Alright, so Control C, Control S. Now we come in here. Um, we are going to delete this guy, these two guys, because it's going to be called by this guy. So at the end here, we'll say call display customer true. See that? Like that. Just like that. Alright, so let's massage this some more. So we got this number from here, from transaction right there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and replace all this. That way it's not, yeah. TXT order, and then there's something here. I want to look at the transaction DB access here on the get. Oh, okay, good. All right, that's what I want to validate. Make sure, because remember these numbers and the memo is, there's possibility is null or it's empty. So that's why I want to double check. So it's okay. So we can just say order number. All right. Actually, we're gonna do this equals. Then we want it null. All right. We want the preset to null. All right. So the next thing that we validate was CBO transaction type. So this is okay. All right, transaction ID. Oh yeah, this one we need to convert it to. We need to convert to a number. So here we say transaction type. See there? Get name by ID. Like so. There. So we got a number here, but we'll, they're not going to understand. So we're going to convert that to something that they understand. So the next thing we're looking at is the date. Yep. So this is, yeah, that's fine. And then voided. Yeah. The CBO voided. Here's the same thing. We're going to use this guy. If voided is 0, then no. Else. Like so. And then the amount, course. And then, oops. This should be memo. Equals memo. There. We should have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. 7. 7 because the transaction already set up here. All right. Yeah. Transaction is set from the subform that we're going to be implementing later. All right. And customer number or ID will be set by another pop-up screen, the search screen. So everything looks good there. I'm good with that. All right. So let's move on. That looks good right there. Let's move on. There are a couple of things that we need to fix, but when we get there, I want I'll let you know, because if I do it now, you won't understand it. All right. Well, most of you will, but some of you not. So I'm not gonna do it now. I already know potential issues, but I'm gonna keep that in my head when we attack it. Then you learn. That's how you learn. All right. That's how you learn. Is to see the error. All right. That's how you learn. If you don't see the error, you're not gonna learn. You're not gonna remember. If somebody does it all the time for you, you're not gonna remember. All right. So you need to encounter issues yourself. Then you remember. So that's the reason why I want to keep that to myself. This will be transaction number. Yeah, the same way. Yeah. Yeah, to learn is not to have somebody else do things for you, but to watch them encounter errors. Cause that's the and you need to be you need to be making lots of errors, not intentionally, but once the error happens, you next goal is to correct the error. That is how to be good programmer. All right. So yeah, it's almost impossible not to make errors. I make errors all the time, as I've said many times. But are you going to be able to, fix the error? So, but the more errors you encounter, the better you are. You will, you will make less error. You see, at the beginning you're gonna make lots of errors, but that's okay. But be persistent and just keep doing it, trucking it away. Um, so remember, we're not going to do anything with this one. I'm just going to do that, comment that out. All right. I think we're done. Other than this guy, I'm going to go ahead and comment that out as well. We are done. We went from the bottom all the way to the top. So now the question is, will it work? All right. So if it doesn't, we know what, because we're gonna debug it. Yeah, let's do this. I think when I made that date, you know what? Let's try this. We need to change this guy to date. See that format? This should be a short date. The reason being, it gives you this little icon right here on the right hand side. It's like calendar type. You can select that. All right. And when you do that, the format the general format, like general alignment right here, it moves to the right for that guy. Similarly, the amount here, if you change that to currency, that general will push it to the right. So what we need to do here is to highlight these guys, not the drop down list, all right, and make this general to the left. All right, and then this guy, this drop down list, general text align right there, make that center. All right, so that's that. I think that looks good. All right, now I was going to show you here. All right, on the add button. Let's go back to the code. See, there's a if you look at it, for example, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, we don't have subform. That's good. So if you look at it, when you run this guy, watch. See how we got this guy, but we don't have customer number. That'll be a problem right there, because we require customer number. You see, we require customer number. All right, and a transaction, each transaction has to have a number. And so let me show you how to do that. Cancel that. It doesn't cancel. I think we comment something out there. So let's go to design form. So back to the code behind. Um, if you recall the order, let's go to the order on add. By the way, there's a flaw in here as well. See right here? There's a flaw in here as well. We're going to fix this. So I'm going to fix the transaction form, and you will know how to fix this. And I want you to try to fix this order form. All right. And then, yeah, because if you don't try to fix this, there's a flaw in here. See if you catch it. I'm just going to copy this guy. Copy. All right. So this is the form order. There's a flaw in here. See if you see what it is. But I bet you will if I start doing this on this side. All right. Now, the first thing comes to mind when I look at this customer search here. We don't have the form transaction. Let's go add it. Form name constant. I'm going to copy one of these guys. And then we'll change this guy to transaction. And then change this guy to trend, like so. Save, close, and now we can change to form transaction. See there? Simple enough. Remember, this customer search, if you notice, is going to return this guy right here. You see there? We're pretty clever, aren't we? So that's what we're going to do. All right. So make sure you remember that. Okay. So that's why those two objects are required. Now, I'm going to remove this guy right here. Copy. And you should be doing this on the order form order as well. Okay. So whatever you see me doing here, do it the same there. Display customer right there. Right. Obviously it's going to be, yeah, here, right here. Right here is good, but we need to check something here. On this one, what we want to check, let's add a check. You know what? We almost forgot here. We almost forgot to have this customer object here. We don't have customer object on this one. See, if you look at way up here, we don't have customer object. So good thing we are in there. So let's define this guy. Old customer. I'm glad. Equals new customer. Oops. Equals new customer. So got you. Okay, that's all right. Equals as, like so. That's fine. Okay, so we can do like that. And now we can check if old customer company name it's not empty, then we know it's good. And then we can set the control. You see how we did it? Control S. That's what needs to happen. So if the customer exists, then we proceed to set um, new transaction. Otherwise, don't do anything. Okay. So now if we go back in here and run that guy, you see there, and it does not preset for us like we did, like it did. All right, because of this. All right. Now we click on this, and what the heck? Where's the company name? And we don't have this one. So something's not right there either. So let me show you why. So let me show you um, why why the name the customer is not displaying correctly. So the display, let me see, customer right here. So this is good, right? That is good. It's doing its job. However, when we say this is new, all right, the control set new here, new says unlock text box. So we need to find out what's going on with the text unlock. Okay, this is the one that I told you that I will show you instead of making correction ahead of time. Because if I showed you earlier, then you would not know what's going on. All right. Um, so this is unlock text. See, it says new unlock. What happened here? If it's new, it clears the text box. That's the reason why that customer name is not showing up. So what we need to do here is to massage this function right here, clear text boxes. All right. So right here, clear text boxes. So let's massage this guy. Let's say optional um, clear customer as boolean equals false. So by default, it says don't clear customer. Now we're just going to go in there and say if be clear customer, then matter of fact, then and if right there. So by default, it says don't clear it. By default, it says don't clear. No, by default, it says clear. Yep. Now, if it's yeah, by default. If it says clear, if it's clear, then do this. All right. So now we need to go back to this guy, the unlock. See there? Actually, that's already false. This is True. So by default, it's going to clear. So if it's clear, they do this. Otherwise, don't do this. And right here, we say don't clear. All right. So that's what we do. Control S. Let's see how that works. There you go. That's how that works. That's how that works. See? Simple enough. So I mentioned that earlier. I didn't want to uh, show you because I knew the potential problem due to the fact that we have to use the pop-up to display the customer first. Now in other form, it didn't matter because we didn't have to do the pop-up. All right, and that's the reason why. Okay, let's continue. We're gonna get the CRUD going and we're gonna stop. I think the videos, I don't want the video to be too long, because if it's too long, then you guys get bored. I know, when you first learn how to program, when it gets a little long, it gets bored. All right, and I don't want to bore you with that. All right, so let's see if we can add this guy. Let's put $25 here, right here, and then say store credit. All right, and save. Okay. All right, so let's see what's happening there. Okay. Let's see what's happening there. And that was at the transactions save. Let's look at the save. Exists right here. So what order didn't have to be out here. So if yeah, we want to be able to edit the order number. I think that's but that's not the issue. I see the issues already. Just by removing this guy, I see an issue already. That's the issues right there. Can you tell the difference? So that's it. That's the issue right there. But I moved the order number from there to here is because we want to be able to edit the order number just in case we enter it incorrectly. All right. So that's why we moved from there to there. But these two guys should not be edited. All right. So let's Control S. Let's go click on the save. There you go. Save successfully. But did it really save? Let's go look at the transaction here, the table. It saved. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect without hitch. No glitch. No hiccup. That's pretty good. When you do things without hiccup, that's pretty good. What about edit? Let's try edit. Save. Uh so edit, we're gonna increase that guy to um okay, 2550 and save. And let's look at the 2550. It's saved. Good. Good, 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 good. So, yeah, so that's good. That is good and dandy. Now, um, so what happened here? Let me show you something. Anytime you make adjustment to this field like that and you close, it's going to ask you to if you want to save. That means if you say yes, it's going to remember that column being expanded. All right. That's why you see me click no, because I basically don't care. All right. So that is the front end. That is basically the front end. So that's there. I'm not going to. We're gonna have part three. The part three, we're gonna do the transactions subform right here for the search. We also I'm gonna see what we can do with this on the right hand side here. Maybe an outstanding balance type for this customer. All right. So, but that is the front end. All right. I want to keep this guy short. Um, like I said, when you are new to programming, it tends to be overwhelming if it goes too long. I want to keep it small and short. That way we can keep things uh, interesting. All right. All right. Happy programming. See you next video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, like, share, and hit that bell. And also comment below, and if you need help, inbox me. Thanks again.